the exhibit and the media hype around the exhibit helps to promote the education awareness of that veteran entity and can help raise funds. And in this instance, we actually were able to be a drop-off point at the museum for products for fellow countrymen, which is a homeless veteran reintegration program right there in Greenville, South Carolina. And so many people, so few people, I should say, knew about that program. And that's what happens across the country. There's lots of wonderful smaller programs available for veterans and their families, but sometimes the awareness and education just isn't out there. And so we were able to help connect groups that didn't know about each other. We utilized the popularity of this exhibit for the good of the veteran community. And that's just one of the many things that I love to do.
I was really interested to hear about Floyd's Fork. Tell me more about that, because it just, that to me, that was just a great part of your story.
Yeah, Floyd's Fork Initiative was started by my husband, Steve Henry, when he was county commissioner here in Louisville. And when he became lieutenant governor, and of course, all this while, he was also a physician. So he had worked to land bank land around an unsaved creek, and this was Floyd's Fork Creek. So here in Jefferson County area, there are two main creeks. You've got Beargrass Creek, which had kind of long been not gone, but part of it been concreted. It was kind of beyond, I don't want to say beyond saving, but it had a higher risk, right? So Floyd's Fork was still a creek that could be saved and preserved for not only nature, but to be able to build a park system around. And Stephen used to bike out into the county before urban sprawl really took place here in Jefferson County, and saw that there was going to be a great demand for land and development out there. And so he started land banking land and developed the Future Fund, and then the Future Fund Endowment. And it has grown now from like 260 acres back then in 1993 to now almost 6,000 acres.
Wow.
And yeah, it's pretty amazing. So 2,000 of that is part of a larger park system called the Parklands of Floyd's Fork. So we provide easements for them to do hiking and biking trails on. Another 2,000 we lease to farmers to maintain an agriculture way of life out in the county. And then another 2,000 is land that we've basically given back to Mother Nature. So if it doesn't have a historic home or an entity on it, we literally let Mother Nature take it back. And that really helps to create a healthier stream. A lot of people in the city tend to think of conservation and parks as something that, should be mowed and it should look pretty as far as like hike and bike trails. But really the health and vitality of the stream depends on parcels and hundreds and thousands of acres not being touched by a human. Don't mow that.
Yeah. Leave it alone.
Yeah, Mother Nature tends to know what she's doing when left to herself.
One of the things that Miss Henry does is play golf. And,
yeah, I was gonna bust you on this, because this is usually when you say to me, "Hey, this is a golf podcast. Why are we talking about baseball? Why are we talking about this or that?" So, John, you brought Miss French Henry to the table here. How are we going to make this about golf?
Well, hang out and come back, and I'll figure it out.
There you go.
We are here, Coach John. We'll be right back.
When I was a kid, I used to hear my parents and other relatives complain all the time about their pain. I couldn't understand why it was always a topic of conversation. But now that I'm getting older myself, I understand. Hey, it's Neil, and especially, man, after I play a round of golf, I'm stiff and both my knee and my right heel hurt. That's why I decided to try Relief Factor. I was skeptical anything could help me, but I'm a believer now. It's not like I feel miraculously better. The pain is just not there, so I almost forget what a difference Relief Factor has made in my life. Relief Factor is 100% drug-free. It has 4 key ingredients that support a different metabolic pathway to help your body heal naturally from both the pain and the inflammation. Tens of thousands of people just like you are using it today to become mostly or completely pain-free. So join me in this pain-free revolution. Visit relieffactor.com/approach and order the 3-week quick start. It's discounted to at just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Order today, and in a few short weeks, you could be pain-free too. Go to relieffactor.com/approach and feel the difference for yourself.
Have current events affected the ability for you to pay your bills? Has your credit card debt overwhelmed you? Has your income decreased because you're working less, or have you lost your job? Credit Card of America may be able to help you find a solution to this problem. We offer a free, no-obligation consultation to learn how you can cut your payments by up to half and potentially lower your interest down to zero. Credit Card of America is an A+ rated nonprofit company that will work on your behalf. Credit Card of America is licensed in all 50 states and has counseled over 1 million consumers struggling with debt just like you. Let us help you analyze and prioritize your debt. Negotiate with your creditors to reduce interest and payments. Set up one affordable monthly payment and provide ongoing education and support. Call now for a free no-obligation consultation and learn how you can become debt-free. Call 800-613-7650. That's 800-613-7650. 800-613-7650.
And thanks for coming back. This is The Approach Shot. I'm John Ashton. He is Neil Michaels. Heather French Henry, Miss America 2000, Veteran Affairs Advocate, big time, daughter of a disabled Vietnam-era veteran, and a golfer.
I'm going to jump in on something beforehand because I demanded the golf thing, but I do want to mention something that I thought was really interesting. Heather was also the first Miss America ever to be announced on the Miss America pageant by a woman.
Aren't you good? Oh my gosh. Look, you definitely did your homework.
The crack research staff of The Approach Shot. Yeah.
Or the research staff on crack. Either, I'm not sure which.
Right, but you know what? I always forget to mention that. And really, especially in today's society where we're really concentrating on, you know, bringing women's history to light. I have 2 daughters who are now 18 and 20. And you know, you want to make sure that you're mentioning women who have made significant contributions. And sometimes I forget to tell people that, you know, not only being first Miss Kentucky to win, the first with short hair, but also the first to be announced by a woman. Marie Osmond actually announced me as Miss America. And, you know, it was a tremendous step for us to be able to make that acknowledgement. So thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that.
It kind of did set the tone for you, because it's like, how do we take this incredible woman that has done so many things in her life and set her up, or as we like to say, tee her up for all these phenomenal accomplishments? Well, the best way is to be the first pageant winner to ever be announced by a woman. And it was great that it was Marie Osmond too.
Yeah, you know, and she was so phenomenal. That's when she and Donnie had their own show. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that when I was growing up, I did have a Donnie and Marie Barbie doll. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's just one of those things. And Donnie was like my first rock concert when he was doing the Soldiers of Love tour back in, you know, the 80s, and at the Expo in Maysville when they used to have a concert series there. So it was pretty appropriate. But then again, back to golf. So,
right, because otherwise I was going to have to say I'm a little bit country and he's a little bit rock and roll.
Oh, there you go. But you got to do it anyway, which is awesome.
And
you know,
I promise I won't tell the story about how Donnie and Marie almost got me killed one day trying to walk them out to their bus after a concert in Wheeling, West Virginia.
Well, now that you've said it, now you have to tell it.
Now
we were just backstage and we were just talking like regular people. Donnie just said, "Hey, John, could you walk us out to the bus?" And I went, "Sure." Not realizing that as soon as we opened the door, there were like 1,800 screaming teenage girls between the back door of the concert hall and the door of the bus. And we got successfully to the door of the bus, and then I realized they got in the bus. I had to go back.
Oh my word!
So it was a hairy experience. But
are you sure those screaming fans weren't there for you?
I'm positive. Did you have a John Ashton Barbie doll? No. You didn't have a John Ashton poster in your room either, did you? So there.
But I do think that you're worthy of a bobblehead. I think you know, we should have one of you doing that. Yeah.
Actually, if you just watch him long enough, he starts to do this toward the end. So it's.
I agree.
And I actually am having a John Ashton voodoo doll made, so it might be the same. I'm not
close.
Wow, that might be a hot seller. That's going to be the top 10 Christmas list.
The thing that triggered golf in my head with you, Heather, is I saw a post you put on Facebook, and this shows how dyed-in-the-wool Kentucky girl Heather is. She was playing with power-built golf clubs.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the golf club arm of the Louisville Slugger baseball bat company, Hilrick and Brasby. So, I mean, you can't get
I'm
much
so
more
glad
Kentucky than
you
that.
mentioned that. I always, like my brother played golf. I didn't start playing golf until probably about 10 years ago. And what's even stranger is that I live across from Cherokee Golf Course. And so it was, sometimes you just don't make time for the things that are right in front of you. And golf is something that does take a bit of time. So, you have to make yourself stop and play. But one of the great advantages of the game of golf is it does make you stop for a period of time. And it's a time that you get to spend with people. It's why a lot of business people play golf. You get a chance to do a golf scramble. It takes an entire day. There's a lunch and usually an afternoon event after everyone comes in. It's a great way also to raise money for philanthropic causes. Right. But I love playing golf with my dad. My dad is someone obviously who is a top priority in my life. He was the reason for my platform as Miss America. And in our crazy lives, they live in Maysville, Kentucky, which is 2 hours away from Louisville. I don't get a chance to see them every single day. So when we go home, they live on the second hole of Laurel Oaks Golf Course in Maysville. And so, you get a chance to see golfers all the time, but to be able to take out the day and to get in a golf cart, ride with my dad, play golf. I mean, whether or not you keep score, who cares? I mean, I'm never going to be Tiger Woods, right? It's just not going to happen. What I can do is spend time talking and having a great time, sharing those moments with my dad, whether you hit it well or not. I mean, it is the most frustratingly enjoyable game. It's one that you just want to throw the golf clubs every now and then. But, it's definitely worth the agony of defeat for the moments of joy that it certainly does bring. And years ago when I started playing, some folks from Powerbuilt who I knew very well, I didn't have a set of even golf clubs. So I asked them, I said, what would you consider for someone like me? And they actually sent me this wonderful set of golf clubs to use in golf scrambles. I love the set so much. It's a beautiful white and baby blue set. It's, of course, a women's length, so it's a little shorter than the male counterparts. And I just have stuck with Powerbuilt ever since and have continued to love playing the game. I don't know that I've improved at all. But I do feel like I've improved a little. I could improve more if I played more, certainly. We just played the other day and my dad and I and Steve had a great time. My mom actually drove the cart and she is the greatest armchair quarterback, basically, where she gets to tell us how we're swinging wrong and how we're standing wrong. And probably if I were to say 95% of the chance is she's probably right.
Tell us one incredible thing you've done on a golf course where you made a putt, you hit a great shot, something that just made your mom go, okay, I guess I don't have to correct that.
Well, I just birdied a hole that I had never birdied before. And it's just that one hole where every shot just laid up right. It just, every swing felt nice. It hit, it connected well, and I chipped it. And then I putted it in and I birdied the hole. And it was just, it was a very difficult hole. And I think finally it was like, wow, I might be getting a little bit better than I used to be.
If we could just string 3 or 4 good shots back to back.
Right.
That's all we need.
Right.
Here, golf is different from tennis. So I grew up playing tennis, actually. And I was a very competitive tennis player. So when you get to be really proficient in tennis, like, there's rarely a chance you're going to miss a ball. There's rarely a chance you're going to really hit it off, right? I mean, when you learn how to connect that ball, every swing is pretty much going to be a great swing. Sometimes a backhand can go a little askew, but you're going to be pretty on target. Not with golf. You know what? I've even seen the pros. Like, they've even hit off shots. And I'm like, if they can hit an off shot, there's no hope for me to be.
Because here's the best part of your story. The hole you birdied was great. What'd you do on the next hole?
Oh yeah,
On
I
the
did
next-
not birdie that one.
No.
In fact, I think I might have bogeyed that one.
I was playing golf the other day with a guy who kept hitting the ball in. I mean, he must have lost, I think, 6 balls in 2 holes. And
Oh well, yeah.
he got so frustrated. He said, "I've played softball my entire life." He said, "I could hit a ball coming at me at 40 miles an hour and put it anywhere on the field I want to put it. This ball is still stationary in front of me. I have no idea where it's going to go."
It's so true, though.